morning, guys. A quick word about short-term contracts. I see on some of the groups, a lot of people are defending them. They think they're money makers. A couple people are claiming that on these short-term contracts, they're averaging $2.50 a mile for what they work. I've never done one, so I can't say that's true or it's not true. All we can do is take people at their word. All I know is when you take a short-term contract under $600 a day, and you divide that $600 by the 13 hours you commit to, the rate is very, very low per hour. And so if you pay your driver a percentage, and it's $500 a day, and you're going to pay him $100 out of that $5, and you still put up fuel, and you have to pay for all your insurance. I don't know that that's a viable plan, but to each their own. So I was digging in the load board a minute ago, and this is the contract rate. Your team is $8,400, and let's just say they add another $900 for fuel surcharge. I don't really know what their percentage or how they value the fuel surcharge. I'm just not sure. I'm not going to lie and say I know what that formula is. Anyway, so a team block for 5 days is $8,400. My single solo drivers working load boards make more than $8,400 in a week. Anyway, but this is kind of really more what I'm talking about. So this is your solo one, where they're going to work your truck 5 days. They're going to work your truck 5 days out of the week at $5.85 for the day. And again, some people say that they only work a handful of hours and then they park you. I've never done one of these, so I don't know. I'm going to say if there were a whole bunch of parked trucks right now, if Southern California had a whole bunch of parked trucks right now, you wouldn't have these types of loads sitting there. Let me open this up, and we're going to do power only. So we're looking for trailer provided. And so this is the Southern California market right now. Valencia is really close to my home. That is going up to Sacramento. It's a one-way for $1,100. That's a really good rate for what that is, especially considering if you live where I do, out close to Valencia, you don't have to deal with LA traffic. You basically, anyone that's familiar, Valencia is where Magic Mountain is. So you grab that trailer and start heading north. You really don't have to deal with LA traffic. You just start heading towards the Grapevine, and it's, easy running from there. And so here you have a load going to Vegas for $3 a mile. There's a team load for almost $3 a mile. There's a load going from Mira Loma, which is out there by it's in the Ontario area. It's a couple miles from there. That's going to Tracy, which is Northern California. For most that aren't familiar, Tracy's up there close to Sacramento, within a few miles. So Mira Loma to Stockton, which is also in that same neck of the woods, over $3 a mile at $1,200. Vacaville is also in Northern California. This is coming from San Bernardino. So in this particular load, in this particular case, you would have to cross LA and you'd have that traffic, but you're still you're still well over $2 a mile. And so here's a team load, almost $3 a mile leaving the Southern California area. There's Moreno Valley, which is also out there by Ontario, heading to Oregon, teams load. Santa Clarita is in that same area with Valencia. You could say the two cities butt up against each other. And so there you have $4 a mile to basically go over the Grapevine and drop that load at $4.44 a mile. That's not bad money. There's another Santa Clarita to Bakersfield. There's another Santa Clarita to Bakersfield. And so if those contracts were literally sitting and people were only running 4 and 5 hour days and they were being sent home, they wouldn't get sent home. They would double up some work and give people full 13-hour days, free up some trucks, and come grab some of these loads. So there's Camarillo to Bakersfield, $600. San Diego probably wouldn't be done by someone holding a contract out of Ontario. Or maybe they would. You could get there and back in 13 hours. Maybe they would. So there's Carlsbad, which is also down by San Diego, $4 a mile. That's a one-way. Obviously, that wouldn't really be covered by those contracts. Or, they could throw that on no, I don't think you could do that on a solo 2 either. Never mind. They could do that with a team's load. So there's something going out to Brookshire. That's obviously not going to be put in a contract. But the point here is there's plenty of work that could be easily rolled into the contracts, but I don't think they are, because the trucks that are on the contracts are being utilized. If what people are saying is true and these contracts are easy money, you're getting paid $500, but you're only working 5 or 6 hours, I don't think that's necessarily true, at least not in the LA market. And so the spot market board reflects that today. They have a bunch of loads, they're not getting done with the short-term contracts, and that's impacting this load board here. These are decent rates, guys. I mean, if they had these types of loads every day, I'd keep a truck locally in Southern California. Hell, I might even do it myself. I live there. I'd park a truck in the Ontario area, rent a space for whatever, 100 and some odd bucks a month, and then use a commuter car just to run back and forth. Anyway, this goes back to my idea of what the short-term contract, how it affects the load board. I'm hoping what's happening here is people are not taking those contracts anymore. Obviously, they're not selling out, because I just pulled some up, right? There's contracts available. Maybe I should have mentioned how many are available in the area. There's 265 contracts available in the Ontario area, and so I'm kind of hoping, people are wising up, or, maybe people have taken them and realized, holy cow, I'm not making any money at this. Let's just look at the Solo 1 and see how many are available. There's 83 Solo 1 contracts available. And so the fact that people aren't swallowing these up and taking them, immediately, I think might be showing that, at this rate, it's not profitable, especially not in Southern California where fuel's, real close to $4 a gallon, if not more by now. And so if we look at other markets, let's look at San Antonio. Nope, that's still showing Ontario. Oh, I think I did need to deselect. So there's 0 results. And so those contracts are sold out. People took all the contracts. And so now for shits and giggles, let's go look at the load board in San Antonio. There's no work available there. Why? Because they sold out their contracts. So do you guys see what's happening? And does it make sense to you guys? Let's look at Dallas since we're there. All right, so there's 10 results in Dallas. And, there's a very short haul, $9 a mile. We both know that's not going to make a day out of the truck. So there's a load for Thursday. There was a load scheduled to leave today. I remember looking at it on Thursday or Friday of last week. But so they're down to $1.44 a mile for the exact same load. If you look through my other videos, I think I did a thing on Dallas. And so $1.44 a mile to Memphis. This load is normally double that. And so do we see what's happening here? Everything's at $1.44 a mile. There's $1.57 at the very bottom to Memphis. Now, what's impacting that? Let's go look at the contracts. Odds are most of their contracts have been sold out. Oops. Oh, it still came up. And I think I need to remove. Oh, sorry, guys. So we need to add Dallas, but I think we still have San Antonio in there. Nope, it's not selected. All right, so there's 158 available. Let's look at the solo ones. There are none available. So do you see a pattern? Let's look at the solo twos as well. There's 7 available. And so the pattern I'm trying to show you guys is the markets where they sell out more of these contracts, in those same markets you can see a direct relationship to the spot market being really cheap. The market where these contracts are not selling out, there's a direct relationship. Where the market doesn't sell out on those contracts, the spot market still has decent paying loads. There's not an abundance of loads, and so I wouldn't say, hey, go move yourself into that market to go get those, because I'm sure there's plenty of people already fighting for them, but the market is directly affected by those short-term contracts. I saw in one of the groups, someone said, you don't get short-term contracts this time of year. Amazon's still running them. And if we look at all of the contracts combined, in other words, we don't put any filters on it, we can see there's 3,600 of them available, and they're running them, into March. See if I can filter this by the date. Contract date, ascending. Let's do descending. And so here we have contracts out to March 13th. So Amazon has no intention of stopping these contracts. Why would they? They're locking people in to some very cheap work, and it's saving them the volatility of work going to the spot market. And so that's kind of a no-brainer in my mind. You take this cheap work and you think it's great because they're going to guarantee you revenue, but the revenue's on average half of what you could make working that load board, taking the last minute loads. I know a couple people have commented they're doing really well. They're getting like $250 a mile on the contracts and they're happy with it. You know, if it's working for them, you know, kudos. Happy for them. But I don't see, you know, $600 a day as a viable source of revenue. I just don't see it working. So if it's $600 a day and you pay a driver 30%, he just took $200 of that. Then you got to put fuel in the truck. What does that leave you for the day? And you still have to pay your insurance. Some people have a truck payment still. How much money out of that are you putting away for your maintenance fund? It's not a money maker in my opinion. But you can see the direct correlation within a given market. Wherever those contracts are sold out, Amazon covers all of the work. I had a couple people ask me to show them what's in the, we'll start here, to show me what's in the Miami area. And so there's one contract available, which surprises me. Their going rate, this is a team, and so their going rate for the team for the week is $7,100. This doesn't really affect the short guy that, you know, the short haul guy that's doing, you know, solo one type work. You know, this team truck is probably going to be sent cross country. You're going to run a ton of miles for that $7,100. But now, let's look at since it's obvious that all of their contracts are sold out in the Miami area. So let's look at the load board for Miami. Oops, that's not Miami. There's nothing on the local load board. Direct correlation, one between the other. But then you look at LA, where they have, you know, over 50 contracts that didn't get taken, and you've got $3 and $4 a mile loads sitting there, you know, that anyone could just grab right now and book. Anyway, I hope you guys see the logic that I'm trying to present here. The short-term contracts are hurting the spot market. If you're a carrier that works that spot market, and you've made a good living at it, your living is now being challenged by the short-term contract. The long-term contracts are worth it. There's quite a few people that run, you know, those annual, you give them a bid per mile, and then, you know, you get work pretty much every day. You still have to go on their website and book it, but you get regular steady work, and you know, those aren't bad. Those are paid decently. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I hope this makes sense. Thanks for watching.